I got my coronavirus vaccine. I'm super excited. Tomorrow is actually the second injection. So I'm going to tell you about the first and some of the thoughts that people with MPNs have been having or saying, or articles, or some of that information. And there you go. So, as everyone knows, I've been going through kind of a rough time. If you're already subscribed to my channel, you know this. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it just makes a difference. It's a huge deal. Like, if you get 1,000 subscribers, you can do some live chat things, and it's just a thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to do it. So, long story short, I just got my vaccine a couple weeks ago. Tomorrow is the second part to it. So I'm going to tell you the first bit. It took forever to sign. I had to sit down just to tell you about the signing up because I'm tired. So essentially with the sign up, we were trying to sign up constantly, like every week, and it was not happening. And we're like, this is open to everyone. We're in Arizona. What's going on? I found out after multiple days trying to do it that on Wednesdays they would do some announcement, and then on Fridays at 11 a.m. local time, obviously, they would have it that everyone could log in and request the appointment. So how we did that is you go in, and before you even request that appointment, log on, get an account, and put in all your information. So when it is time to sign up for that appointment, boom, you already have it there. You have to answer like 1 or 2 more questions. They're really easy when you're doing it, and then you can sign up. When it comes to finding the time, it was literally like we'd go to zap on a time and it's gone, and you'd zap on another, gone. We're like, it was like insane. Actually, I heard it being compared to like trying to get concert tickets, like zap, 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 zap. Anyhow, so we finally got it. So I hurried and enrolled. Then we enrolled my husband, and we're just a few minutes apart. It was fantastic. So we planned everything, got everything ready, and we actually had to take my son out of school that day because we weren't sure how long it would take, and we didn't want to just like bail on him and leave him at school with no one to pick him up. So he went with us. So we went to ASU, not too far away, and you go there, and it's kind of a little bit awkward to see where they're going in, but then like by the second sign, you're like, yes, here we go. You zoom in. There are guides all over. Amazing volunteers every step of the way. You go in, they check on you, what's your number, and here's a lucky thing. When you do the computer thing, what I did is I typed out my name, I typed out the ID number they gave me, and location and time. And then I put my husband's name and his time and ID number. And it's a good thing because I couldn't log back into our appointment when we got there. But luckily I had our ID confirmation with me, written separately. That's a huge note to anyone because we would have been in trouble otherwise. So anyhow, you give them your ID. Then once you tell them your ID number, there's one person on one side wrote my husband's number on his side of the car on the windshield, then wrote my number on the windshield. We went through, they ended up asking, one of the girls asked us questions, are you on any clotting medicine? Oh heavens, she asked a bunch, and I'll remember them and write them down or put them there for you. I did tell her I had just gotten off of Eliquis. I was 2 weeks off of Eliquis. I'm only on aspirin and have a major clotting history. Like, we didn't know that. So she's like, okay, please make sure you tell them when you go up to the nurse. And I'm like, perfect. So they send us off to another place. We drive through, and then we go in, and a lady checks us through the thing. And I'm like, are you the nurse? She's like, no, but just tell the information up there. I'm like, cool. They check our number again and send us through. We go up through, and they check the number, talk to us, and I said, are you the nurse? And he's like, yes. So I'm like, okay, well, I do have some stuff, but I don't want it to, little ears back there because we brought our son. So let's talk over here. So he came over to my window, and I said, I have Polycythemiavera. I've had major blood clots. I'm only on aspirin, and I just got off of Eliquis. He's like, That's fine. We can totally do this. All is well. And so apparently someone had already talked to their oncologist and talked to him, and he had already had the news saying, all is well, we can do this. I was delighted. So he asked which arm. I said left, obviously, because, you know, sometimes you don't want to hurt the active one. So he's like, okay. So I turn around, I turn over, lift up my thing. Literally, it was a teeny, teeny, teeny little prick, and it was done. And I was like, that, it was like nothing. And mind you, if we are Polycythemiavera people and we get constantly stabbed with those huge, like they're very fat and round and very sharp phlebotomy needles, you can handle this. It's like a tink, tink, tink. It's nothing. It was not painful whatsoever. One and done. So then we were on our way. We would drive through the little thing that they told us, okay, you guys are good, scoot on up. So we drove through this little maze thing because they have it all set up, all volunteers, just amazing, amazing organization. We, confirmed with our son, oh, that didn't hurt, we're totally fine, all is well. All those things you got to reassure, little guy. So we go up to the next one and they said, hey, you have 3 minutes still. You have to stop and wait here, and then we'll let you go. So you go in, they check on you, they check on the time that you had it. I have the times written down, I'll write that for you. All of that, and then when you pass the time, they say, you're good to go. And, well, they check, like, how do you feel, whatever. You're good to go. We went, and then we went and got food, and it was amazing. It was so easy, like, amazing. So now, before getting it was a little rough, but super awesome. The actual getting, incredible organization, wonderful, love the volunteers, perfect. So then after we get food, we hang out, go home. I asked my husband, feeling anything? Nope. Feeling anything? Nah, we're good. Then later on, I was like, my arm is hurting. Like, is your arm hurting? It felt heavy and hurt. And he's like, no. And I'm like, you know what? I bet this is like, if I've had a zillion vaccines, obviously, because I've traveled a lot too. I said it feels like one of those vaccines that you get for travel, and then like the day later it hurts more. That's what it was. So I got the pain in the arm, and I was like, and I thought I should Google this, because I Google everything, but I usually wait till after I genuinely feel it, and then I look rather than look before. It just depends. Anywho, so I go on there. And it was awesome to see on Dr. Google that they said it's actually a good thing if you feel pain, because it's like your body is, having a response to this. They said you should actually kind of rub it in, and that will help, so you don't have to feel it so much. It was amazing. I felt that pain for a couple days. It wasn't really bad at all. It's just like there, and I couldn't lift it higher. But then I think after 2 days, I could lift it, and it was just perfectly fine. I did have insomnia. Oh my gosh. Not like I don't anyway. I usually have insomnia because my body hurts when I flip, flap, 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 flap. I'm covered in bruises. But this one was, I was awake and I was like, oh, I've got to just figure something to do. So I just figured something to do. No big deal. Loved it. Had a fantastic time getting the actual vaccine. I'm totally for it. I was very iffy beforehand, and here is why I am very you do you, I do me situation with the vaccine. Of course, in a dream world, we all have a vaccine that's working, that's perfect, there's no side effects, and we are all awesome and COVID never existed. That is a dream. But the fact is it does exist. A lot of people died and are dying and have been horrifyingly affected by it. Even if you don't die, when you have physical damage, emotional and monetary and every other damage, it's harsh. Lots of mental damage. I think more recently I've been feeling the mental damage now. A lot of emotions and whatnot, right? So here's a few arguments for and against. Dream world, we all have this vaccine and we can just get on with our lives. No more coronavirus mutating to something else. If you have PV or an MPN, mutations are not our friend unless they're awesome, but there's hardly any. Anywho, so mutating totally sucks. We would love to be out and free and doing things, have healthy family, friends, whatever. Here's why I think some people resist, and I totally understand. I don't blame you. Military. Think of the military and all the things that have been tried on them and the backlash and the crap they've dealt with after being guinea pigs. Think of us as being guinea pigs. Think of all the drugs that I personally, if you watch my channel, that I've been on, that I have failed miserably or have failed me miserably. And think of all the things, I mean, we don't have this FDA okay on this. It hasn't been tested very long. We don't have the okays that we'd normally have on the years and years of trial and change and all of that. We don't. To me, it's a very scary thing to take it when we have people all over having blood clots. That's scary. When we have all these things, it's scary. I understand if you're in the military. Absolutely, I get that. I understand if you're someone like me who was like, I've had my issues with it, being scared because you're sick of being a stinking guinea pig. I get that. And I understand that to some people, it is their argument. They're not really happy with it. But also, obviously, I'm beyond those arguments. I've taken enough crap drugs. I took my chances with this because, quite frankly, I want to get out and do. I have enough health crap to deal with. I want to get out. I want to be free. We moved during the COVID pandemic, and I would like to go out and be social and have fun and feel like I'm okay and someone else is okay. Not just for my sake, but for others. I don't look sick a lot of the time. I mean, I look sick compared to me, but like when a stranger sees me, they don't see me like feeling like crap inside, right? So what it is I could go out, and as someone with an MPN, there has been a lot of talk and something I find concerning about, are we really covered? Does the vaccine actually work on us, right? So I can go and tomorrow I'll get my second dose, right? Do whatever I have to do to feel good and get it going. But does it mean that I'm actually fully covered? A wonderful friend of mine found on the web and shared it on the MPN Blood Brothers and Sisters, I'm so tired, Facebook page about how you can go in and you can talk about having, it show up that you're immune to it, but then if they look at the blast, you're technically not showing that you're immune to it. People with blood cancers aren't showing the same resolution, I guess, as others. So, of course, I'm going to put everything links down in the description here. But there is some concern. So, am I still wearing a mask? Yes. Am I still keeping a distance? Yes. Do I look like I'm perfectly fine and I'm not concerned about this? Yeah, I do. I look like I'm just happy-go-lucky and all is well. But in fact, it totally is not. So, these are some of my reasons for it. Because it's not just for me, it's for people like me. I would hate to be responsible for anyone else being sick. I also don't want to be sick. I'm a mom. I have been fighting way too hard to live and to live a decent, good life, to keep allowing stuff happen. It's just not cool. So anyway, this is my experience. I know that there is a push of, don't get the vaccine, I'm very anti-vaccine, they're controlling you, yada, yada, yada. And then there's a, get a vaccine now, it's unfair, it's very selfish not to, blah, 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 blah. I get it on both sides. I totally get it. It's a very personal decision, something you and your doctor. I know a person whose doctor actually told him, I don't recommend it for you. Mind you, they did have COVID, and so I'm sure they have some of the antibodies now, and I don't know more of their medical stuff, but we're all different, and we're all just going to do the very best we can. It was my choice to take it, and if you don't want to take it, your choice, but please don't breathe on me, because I'm not guaranteed anything anyway. So that was it. I know some people are asking me, what are my thoughts on the COVID vaccine? I want to do something. I mean, like they're not pounding me full of other drugs. I don't know, but I'd rather just be on this side. And some people super anti all of that. You be you, let me be me. So all in all, we had a very interesting experience, really cool, going in, getting the COVID vaccine, and the after effects, minimal, very minimal. And I have to say I got the Pfizer one, so I'm very happy about that. Oh my gosh. I understand there's pros and cons. I understand there's for and against and all sorts of stuff, and it is confusing and it is all that. But so is, I don't know, getting sushi from a gas station. You're going to have to pick your battles on that, you know? It's a very light example. Anyhow, I wish you all the best and health and happiness. Make your decisions, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, and you be you. Take care.